noise, unfortunately, but I'd like to talk to you today a little bit about the concept of information flow and how that works in Web 2.0 application. In a recent series of videos and video presentations posted on YouTube, Stephen Downes made some very interesting points about information. He pointed out that the key to Web 2.0 is obviously interaction. It's who you know and how you know it and where and the process of information sharing. But at the same time, he talks a lot about how information flows, and it's very interesting to think that in the kind of old version of information dissemination, notice I use the word dissemination, which would suggest throwing the seeds, etc. When in the case of the internet, it's more about retrieving, which would mean pulling rather than pushing. So I think Stephen Downes has a great insight in this. And the other thing that I'm fascinated by is this sense of agency in the old paradigm of pushing information. I mean, I like to think of it as being made available, and sure, I like to think of pushing information in the sense of sending out stuff and pushing my voice to overcome the wind. But in the case of online, if you really want to get readership and actually establish a community that is interactive, yes, you are out there pushing, like you are sending instant messages, you are making your YouTube things available, you are posting, but more than anything, you're retrieving, you're pulling. And the pulling, as he points out, triggers more pulling. It triggers a chain of communication that's triggered by the demand and the need, which it totally makes sense to me, because if we really think about how people behave, it's really more about needs and demands and less about supply side. And I like that concept because it really ties into sort of microeconomic theories and ideas as well. So we talk about the utility of a bit of information and the utility to us as we think about getting ready to pull that information and use it. So tools for pulling, tools for processing, so that once you pull that information you can really do something with it. All those things are very interesting and useful in Web 2.0.